With my supersized ionizer sword and extremely large blaster cannon, I'm Motormaster, will one day rule the Decepticons and all life before me. Bow before me, strange creature. He should call it his buddy Jim to help him on this one. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're taking a look at probably one of the most sought after figures from the new Legacy line. This is Motormaster. Of course, before we get too far into Motormaster, we've got a shout out to deliver. Got to give a shout out to a new subscriber, Riley. She donated this figure to the channel. So thank you very much, Riley, for your contribution, and welcome to the club. As we stated, as stated with some of the others that we've covered recently, Motormaster is the leader of the Stunticons, and was a Generation 1 character. In fact, right here is his Generation 1 version. In the Generation 1 era, they made the robot form completely out of the semi-truck. So the trailer pretty much formed the bulk of the body on the toy. Whereas you can see by the modern version, it is self-contained as just the truck cab. Very similar to Optimus Prime. As it's often been said that Motormaster has a rivalry with Optimus Prime, wanting to destroy him so that Motormaster himself can become king of the road. However, the original toy's tech spec did clearly indicate that Motormaster, despite all of his incredible physical strength, would not likely survive a direct collision with the Autobot leader. Whereas the More Than Meets the Eye guidebooks leave it more up to suggestion as to whether or not Motormaster could survive the collision. Motormaster in the Generation 1 cartoon was famously voiced by Roger Carmel, most famously known for playing the character of Harry Mudd in the 1960s Star Trek series. So unfortunately, Motormaster and the Stunticons were cut short sometime after the animated movie due to his death. So, unfortunately, they didn't get a lot of screen time, but they certainly made up for it. Motormaster, while the leader of the Stunticons, is an ineffective leader. Motormaster is a bully. Straight up, hands down, there's no other way to describe him. He is a straight up bully. He has physical strength to make him near invincible, and he's well aware of it. He's also well aware of the mental issues that his troops have. And instead of trying to work with them to make them better soldiers on that, he instead belittles and bullies them to force them into angry soldiers. They know better than to try to shoot him in the back, since more than likely it won't do any good. But they usually get their revenge on him when they are in their combined form of Menasor. The giant robot needs input from all 5 of the robots to act. And thus, while they're all combined, they give countermanding orders. And Motormaster is in no position to do anything to stop them. So while it makes their combined form, unfortunately, it makes their combined form a rather dangerous force to be reckoned with, since Menasor tends to go berserk due to all the voices screaming in his head. At any rate, let's get the old one aside here. As you can see, the new one offers a lot more to him. We'll move him aside, and this is a battle platform that can be formed from the trailer. The trailer breaks down to form these pieces, so that it gives you some extra play value out of him. Plus, most of the pieces of the trailer will also be used to form the body for Menasor. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to show off how that works for making Menasor. We'll do all that when we have all 5 Stunticons. And as of the recording of this video, we only have 3 of the 5. The 4th one is supposedly out, but I've yet to see him in any of my local stores. And I'm sure not paying eBay prices to have him shipped here from China. So I'll wait a little bit and we'll see what turns up. And supposedly the last member of the group will be released with the new Legacy Evolution line that's due out next year. Although there'll be a logo change, Hasbro has assured fans that Breakdown's packaging will be done up to match the original Legacy. So that way, if you are one that keeps all their boxes will match. And of course, the purpose of this battle tower is it gives Motormaster here something to stand on. You can take his gun, spread out the triggers down here, and fold up this purple part. And then you attach it dead center. And Motormaster has a gun platform that he can use. Remove his sword. And Motormaster just stands here, and then you just adjust his arms and fists accordingly. And then there you have it. He has his own battle platform. And in reality, that really doesn't look too bad, per se. Now, of course, this part here, this central part, can also be used, according to the instructions, it can be used with the combined unit. Menasor can use this as his own battle tower. And yes, when we review Menasor next year, we will show that. Alrighty, at the moment, let's take a look at Motormaster's loose parts. We'll start with the one we've already separated. It is his sword. In the Generation 1 era, it was known as an ionizer sword. As you can see, it's done out of a very flat piece of plastic. The biggest disappointment that some have with it is that it's all black instead of being chrome like the original. I know it's a criticism. I've seen it on the internet. My brother's also one of them that's criticized that. He liked the chrome look better, but I like the black because, well, there's no chrome that'll flake off over time. Of course, nowadays, modern toys don't use chrome, so... I mean, if it really bothers you, you can paint it silver, or there is an aftermarket kit out there that does have a chrome-colored sword. So if it bothers you that much, you can go and replace it. Let's get Motormaster here unhooked. Let go, you big bully. And of course, we have his gun here. The original gun was apparently a cyclone gun, but it was a single-barreled gun, whereas this one, as you can see, is a double-barreled gun. It folds up for storage more, because it, like everything here, forms a part of is a piece of the trailer. So that's something to bear in mind. This forms part of the trailer. Next we have these two pieces. These two pieces, as you can clearly see by these purple protrusions, these are these will form the legs to Menasor. Though they also form sides of the trailer, since as you can see the paint, the purple stripe that runs down the side. Then, of course, we have this tower piece. And you can tell it also is forming part of the trailer. And nextly, we have these two parts here. These form the rear portion, the rear lower portion of the trailer. As you can see, they'll form the arms to Menasor, since they've got the hands in there. And then lastly, we have this large piece. And this folds up to basically be the front of the trailer, but it also forms the main body to Menasor. I know some of you are going to question that. Well, really it does. You will end up folding Motormaster up in such a way that he sits in here, and then the rest of this will form will help form the body to Menasor. And then once you attach all the other pieces to it, it will be the skeletal structure. And then you would configure and add the other Stunticons to that structure, and then you have Menasor. And then now we will take a look here at Motormaster and take a look at his articulation. Motormaster can turn his head from side to side. It unfortunately is not on any other joints, so it will not look up and down. His arms can be raised out to the side about so far. And he can rotate at the shoulder all the way. You will have to move his arm out a bit to clear the truck kibble. His arms do bend at the elbow 90 degrees, and he does have a swivel at the bicep. So he has G.I. Joe style battle grip. And of course he can have his hands turned at the wrist. Motormaster can turn at the hips, so he surprisingly has some dance moves going there for him. You can spread his legs apart into a full splits. He does have a thigh cut, so you can adjust his legs at the thigh. You can raise his legs up at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend him at the knee 90 degrees. So all in all, he has the articulation that would be expected of a Commander-class toy. Okay, to transform Motormaster, we're going to start by working on putting the trailer back together. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the gun, you make sure that both of the hand grips are put together like that. Then we're just going to take the barrels and fold them at the central hinge. And then that gets the gun ready. These two pieces here with the back wheels of the trailer, all we got to do is bend them at this hinge and reconnect them at the sides. Just exactly like that. And then you can line up their posts and holes along the bottom to put them back together again. Now we'll take these leg pieces and you basically just fold the foot upwards and in like that. And then we can fold this piece over and snap it into place. Do that here with the opposite foot. Now, you'll line them up like so. And you'll be able to see the impression as to where the gun goes in. So before you connect them, insert the gun, and then you can connect them together. Just like that. And then you can line them up and connect them to the bottom portion of the trailer. Now we're going to take the front piece here. You'll take this portion here with the Decepticon symbol. You're going to rotate it around so it's facing like this. Then we'll turn it over. You'll fold these pieces. Fold them so they're straight down. They should lock in and catch on these gray pieces right here. That way they're holding it together. And then of course you fold down this piece here so it's staying straight and level. And next we're going to work with the tower over there, because it's always a chore to get flipped into its proper mode. Since we basically have to unfold it by separating it like so. And then basically it itself is going to fold up and around this piece here. We try to keep this part down at the bottom central. So we'll fold it up here at the sides. And by folding it down at the top, you can kind of get an idea as to how it fits together. Then wedge the piece inside. And everything should fold up together nicely. Just like that. These central pieces here should connect together loosely. And then you just fold them inwards like so. And now before you connect it, you see this purple protrusion here? It has a little post in it. And it just happens to fit into the holes of the sword. So you can store the sword inside like that. And it'll fit inside this gaping hole in the trailer and keep the sword flat. And there we go. The trailer is put back together. And of course, if you want to display the trailer just standing around, it does have some legs. And that'll allow the trailer to stand by itself. Especially while we get to work here on Motormaster. Alright, to start on Motormaster, straighten his arms out so his fists are pointing at us. Then you're going to turn his fists. You'll open up a panel on the underside of his arms. And then you can rotate his fists inside. Just like that, and then close it up. Next, you're going to come here to his backside where these wheels are, and you're going to fold the entire section up and forwards so that it rests against his belly. Then now, you will take his arms, you'll disconnect them at the shoulder and fold them up so they rest atop next to his head. There's a little black post here, and it will connect into this hole right there. Now, of course, once you've got that into place, you're going to straighten out the wheels, and you will fold them up so that they will rest against his arms. So now that we've done that, we'll come down here to his legs. There's a little side panel that should fold out. And it will also coincide with a piece here on his back, on the back of his legs. That should also fold out. There we go. Once you've got that folded out, fold his feet outwards like so. And then you're going to turn them around. Because as you can see, when it's facing the front, it helps form more of the grille to his truck mode. Once you've got those back into place, you can go underneath them now. And you should be able to fold out the drive wheels. They're giving me a bit of a fit, excuse me. Alright, now that we got the wheels out of the way, you will then now proceed to fold Motormaster's legs into it. But we'll also bringing them down to his body. Like so. If need be, we can shift out. Oh yeah, we forgot. Well, we have these panels here. There was a piece here on the interior of them that as we were folding the foot out, we need to fold that out as well. Then Motormaster here has a lot of panels to fold out. But at any rate, we get everybody folded down. The legs and such all folded down. And try to line them up so that we can get everybody connected here at the front end. That doesn't get worked into this. There we go. That's how it's supposed to go. Gonna allow plenty of room. And hope nothing shifts on you in the process. That's where the tricky part comes in. I think Motormaster wants to fight you just as much as he wants to fight Autobots. Now, come on. Hold on. The big problem with getting Motormaster here converted in the right position is getting the knees to bend. You gotta get those knees, the knee joints to work with you. And in often cases, they more want to work against you than with you. But at any rate, once you've got him configured and got him all connected, you'll separate these panels from the front. And you're going to fold them back and use them to cover where the knees are on the top of the truck. Just like that. Then that should leave you with a couple of side panels protruding out. First thing you're going to do is raise up the panel that's in them. And then you can fold them over and close them up. And then you will have Motormaster in his semi-truck form. And we will now come back here, we'll fold the leg up and attach him to the trailer. And there we are. He's very reminiscent of his Generation 1 form, which is this one right here. The original one was meant to resemble a Kenworth K1000 Aerodyne tractor with trailer. And while it's not a perfect replica, again, since they don't want to pay Kenworth, it does come off looking rather close to it. And slightly futuristic. So that goes well with it. I also do remember that a number of years back there was a super fan of Motormaster that purchased the cab of a real K1000 Aerodyne and had it painted up with Decepticon logos. And of course it also had Motormaster's quote from the toy of "These wheels are made for crushing." And it would be taken to various conventions and whatnot. If it's still active and available, Google Motormaster and see what turns up. So if they're still taking it on tours, you might try to find out what sort of conventions it may be attending. I perchance saw it at a anime and gaming convention just outside of Cincinnati, so interesting to see. That much is for certain. So what do I think of this new version of Motormaster? I find it a significant improvement over the Generation 1 version. Now, I can't say how much he's an improvement over a lot of the other versions, because I've not really messed with many of them. I do have one of the animated Menasors, and my brother does have both of the Combiner Wars versions of Menasor, so that would mean I have access to other Motormasters. And so far, this one, out of all of them that I've seen and worked with, this one so far is my favorite. I do like the ingenuity that they came up with for the trailer. With it not only being able to form a battle platform, which is a nice addition to the toy, but also how it forms the skeletal structure for Menasor. I don't know how well that's going to work out. And we'll wait until we have, like I said earlier, we'll wait till we have everybody before we experiment with that and see what we have. If there's anything I really don't like, it's the transformation is a little bit of a pain in the butt to work with here on the robot. I mean, I do like the results, but getting him configured can be a bit of a pain. But all in all, it is rather well designed, and I hope that this will continue on when Menasor is complete. Supposedly next year we're going to have a new combiner as well, but so far they haven't announced who it's going to be. Many fans want it to be Superion, since that was Menasor's rival in the cartoon. Pardon me. But they have not yet announced that one yet. It has been announced we will get a new version of Volcanicus, because they're making 6 Dinobots, and all of them will be core class figures. So we're going to have a real tiny Volcanicus to look forward to next year. But that's gonna pale in comparison to how Menasor is gonna look. At any rate, that's my review of the legacy version of Motormaster. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you enjoy the content that we feature here on this channel, please do remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.